David, I'll let you know.
Thanks very much, Robert. And I'll just check my updates once again, but at this stage I have no start drivers for our 750 Motor Club endurance race.
I do.
This may be them. No, it's not. It's
I have the set.
You do. Well done. So let's start off with start drivers then, while we've got a bit of quiet.
2 seconds to dig the piece of paper out.
Car's already been released for this race.
So on pole is the number 5 car, which will be started by Alan Henderson. Alongside is 23, which is started by Chris Bialan. 18 on row 2 is Simon Major. 111 alongside the starter is Blackie. The third row, 89, started by Dylan Brichter. And the 117 by Ian Jones. 19 on row 4 is Lawson, and 444 alongside is Claire Norman. 44 on row 5 is Iyengar solo. 55 Simerson starts. 6th row is 14 Warren Tattersall and 341 Griffin. The 7th row is 88, which is Williams and the father and son, Paul and Luke Browse. Number 22 is Paul Browse, dad, who goes first in their Seat. Next row is 10, Fenwick, and 83 by Montagill. 9th row is 8 Tidmarsh, 87 Toby Partridge, the Southampton BMW dealer. 34 is Ben Brooks, and 183 is Ted Cook. 63 is Harris to start. 66 is Hayes. 79 on row 12 is going to be Brown to start, but he's going to start from the back of the grid. It's a car that was towed back this morning. 155 is Owen Armstrong. Row 13 is 76 Downey, and 77, which is Henry Salisbury. Row 14 is 171 Osman to start, and 62 Denby Sadler. The 15th row is 169 Simonite and 481 Christie. The 16th row, 37 is a non-starter. 24 is started by Bruce. The 17th row, 33 is Vitautas Papyrus on his own, and 92 is a non-starter. And the last row, 97 is a non-starter, but we will have 79, which is Brown in his Porsche.
Yes, I actually saw that Porsche in the garage just a few minutes before the start of the last race. So it's covered in gravel, no damage done, but Mr. Brown had to do the walk of shame across the garage. Just briefly with Christian Pizzard, actually. Christian, congratulations on another race win, but slightly frustrated you just didn't quite get that magic 2 minute barrier.
Don't remind me, at the 2 minute either race officially. So I've got to come back to the festival and see it in front of the 5,000.
Yeah, so you reckon, do you think there's somewhere where you can find extra time?
Always, there's plenty. Yeah, in me, there's several seconds in me. So, looking forward to it.
Well, we'll see if they can develop any further, and if you've developed any further in a couple of months' time.
We'll find out for sure. Thank you.
Well done, Christian. That's another race win for Christian Pittard. And turn our attention then back to 750 race.
Well, there are 1 or 2 extra second drivers that you won't know about, so quickly go through those. Number 34, Ben and Lee Brooks, and 79 Lance Gold, joined by John Brown, and 87 second driver Toby Partridge, 89 second driver Dylan Brichter, BRY-CHTA, 155 second driver Owen Armstrong, and an extra car added in, which is rather important because it's on pole position. Number 5 in Class B, Alan Henderson will start, Daniel Irving will take over. Henderson and Irving in a Mazda MX-5. Cars coming through Luffield now. Red lights are on. This is a rolling start, so the pace car has come into the pit lane, so control has now passed to Alan Henderson in the MX-5 on the pole position as they crawl up to the line, waiting for the red lights to go out, and they go out now. And a very good start from the outside of the second row, which would be the Lawton Blackie, started by 111 David Blackie, BMW. Good start there, so that may well have made its way into second place on this very early stages of this 2-hour race.
Yes, it has. It's that clover-coloured BMW with the big rear wing and a large diffuser under the tail, which is in second place. But out front, it's Henderson in the Mazda. Black is second. Then it in third place looks to be Major in number 18. And the rest of them charging off down the Hangar Straight with Papyrus at the back in his Honda Civic, one of the later Type Rs.
Just to confirm that it's a 2-hour race, and there is a mandatory pit stop, and the pit window opens 30 minutes after the race starts, so 30 minutes in, and closes 15 minutes before the race finishes. So a very generous pit window throughout the middle of the race of some 65 minutes, and the cars must remain stationary for 3 minutes. So it's not a dash in, jump around and dash back out again. It's a 3-minute stop, so plenty of time to do any work on the car that you may need to do. But refueling is minimum 3 minutes stationary for refueling, but you can of course come in and not refuel. So you could do 2 stops, one of which, as long as you're not refueling, can be as quick as you like. So if you need to do some adjustments and so on, but one of your stops must be 3 minutes, and if you do refueling, that stop must be 3 minutes, even if it's your second refuel stop. And that's obviously for safety reasons, longer stop for refueling to make sure that the team isn't rushing to get that fuel in. And the cars back round to complete their first lap, and a very impressive field it is, and the Mazda leads from Simon Major in second place, so he's come up from the second row to second place. Then the BMW number 111 in that nice Porsche colour of ruby stone red, favoured by Sam Tordoff, ex-British touring car racer and also British GT racer as well.
Continues to just stretch his advantage over Simon Major. The white BMW, which is 117, which is Jones, is now up into third place with its 3 BMW stripes over the rear corner. And Sam's on past the 111.
Into the pit lane has come 2 cars, I'm afraid one of them being Claire Norman. So into the pit lane has come number 20 from towards the back of the grid, which is Vitus Papyrus in the Honda Civic, and Claire Norman, number 444. Now that was a potential top 10 car, sharing with Alan Blenko, but into the pits straight away. And that's quite surprising, because they had a good run yesterday in the shorter 750 Motor Club race. Would have expected it to show up any problems, but whatever it is, they've had to come in early doors.
Engine is exposed, bonnets up, and cooling fans on, of course, but there's some discussion going on now between the driver and the team. Some bonnets, and they've got some kind of problem in the car. The Honda also has the bonnet up. Now that car I know had cooling problems in qualifying, so it looks like it could be more of the same for the 20 Honda.
Yes, that's our Lithuanian racer in Honda, Vitalis Papyrus, the owner. approaching cars on the up. Place first couple of laps, hobbled in qualifying, and then start to show colours in the race. The Porsche is struggling today.
Well, after a really good start, 1-1-1, the Blackie BMW has sunk to 6th place now. Started on the second row and storming start to go up into 2nd. Just fading a little.
Well, maybe in this instance the co-driver is the quicker. That's just extra. Yes. It's all about consistency over a couple of hours, and he was a few places at the start. Well, we'll see what's happened.
These cars using the proper, as you might call it, Grand Prix club corner, so they're through Vale and then turning left, sharp left into club and long open right, as opposed to the short version, the historic Vale, which we're using for every other race apart from this one.
So the news from the pit lane, very sadly the number 444 car is out of the race. Clear Northern Ireland Blind Pro seems to be some kind of electronics issue. They've tried rebooting the car, which isn't the work of a moment. You're going to switch it off, wait a good few seconds for everything to shut down before you can then restart. They've tried that a few times, can't get the engine to run clean, and so the car's just been wheeled into the garage and unfortunately out of the race.
There's a super battle brewing between 4 of the TCR cars. Engard, Tattersaw, Williams, one of them, Lawson, Pickford. How deep is so thick that battle? Second place,
I assume these cars are running on the same range of treaded tyres as for the shorter 750 Motor Club race we saw yesterday. Slicks not allowed.
Yeah, it looks that way from what I'm seeing in the pit garages, yes.
As Simon Major was chatting with you about the tyres, he would normally run on slicks in classes where he's allowed to in a TCR car, but they're running on the range of tyres they're allowed to choose from, treaded, which he was saying does affect the car, and just make sure that those tyres last the distance. Although in 3 minutes they could probably change tyres reasonably comfortably.
Pretty much so, the cars are air jacks, not the TCR.
Yes.
So yes, it's all very much manual equipment down here, but the 444 car remarkably is back in the race and out in the pits again. So I think it is an electronics problem by the looks of it, because it seems to be successive reboots seem to have brought it back to life. So fingers crossed it keeps going, but I don't think the team fully understand what the problem is.
Your influence there, you see, Robert. Years in working in the tech industry.
I doubt it somehow.
And as a Formula 3 mechanic.
Yes, indeed. Although I think when you were working in Formula 3, Robert, there wasn't any such thing as press buttons and electrics and turn it on and turn it.
We had a very primitive laptop for the very primitive fuel injection, and we were just at the point where Neil Brown Engineering could program a chip for us, and that was about it. It was very much still the analog reader.
It's nice when you, particularly the Williams Formula 1 team museum down there in Grove, when you walk around and you see the cars with various old laptops with DOS written on them that they need to actually start the cars because they run on the old programs. Talking to one of the Williams heritage mechanics at Donington a few weeks ago, and I said, how are you getting on? you must be difficult to find the laptops that you need to run these. And he said, yeah, actually we've got somebody writing programs to convert modern software to be able to run the old types of software. So there's kind of a hidden link. So you can use a modern laptop but run it with old software.
Yes, I've heard McLaren doing the same with some of their heritage cars and developing an emulation system so that it can pretend to be an old computer.
That's it. Yeah, that's probably the technical word for it. I didn't know that.
And then we go back to the early days of Grand Prix racing. First championship round run here, May 1950. And 75 years ago, they had an actual abacus on the side of the car. Flick the laps part as they counted.
The principle was the same though, wasn't it? Get the car to the finish fastest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although Fangio was always the one for getting there the slowest, wasn't he? As long as he was in the lead, he went as slowly as possible.
Track road, it's the same ethos.
Yeah.
Winner at the lowest possible speed.
That's it. If you have to push the car over the line because you're out of fuel.
On a couple of occasions, didn't he?
Yeah, so in America, wasn't it, one?
He ran out near the end of the race, actually. And well, that's the mobile power sledge that's in this great venture is quite splendid. Mazda MX-5 in this tribute livery is out front, fastest lap of the set 1 up to 2:18.91. And just on the straight line down to Stowe is the BMW of Silverstone that might have dropped back to 11th place overall, the 55 car, but it has pulled 141.8 miles an hour on the hand.
Simon Major still reasonably in touch. He's 4.2 seconds back. We've completed 5 laps. Certainly within striking distance if the Mazda should have a problem of any sort. Going back to Jack Brabham and his fueling issues, pushing the car over the line. He raced at Pescara on the east coast of the Adriatic coast of Italy, and he ran out of fuel on the very long straight running down the shore side. And being a public road, he pulled into a petrol station at which the owner was spectating, filled the car up, put some fuel in the car and carried on. It wasn't just completely running out and having to push, he was able to top up.
He found his debit card.
So based on that Derek Bell Trophy race from this morning, they want to put a fuel station halfway down the Wellington Street.
That's it, yes. Yeah.
Got the customers queuing, but no pumps there. The Audi RS3 TCR certainly goes strong. It's electric.
Well, Simon Major slightly quicker on that lap than the leader, Alan Henderson, and closes the gap to just over 4 seconds, although I did notice that Henderson came out of Woodcut just ahead of a slower car, so he may have been slightly slowed through Luffield, which might account for the variation in time. But whichever way you look at it, Simon Major doing a great job of staying in touch with the clearly quicker Mazda, and equally the third placed car, number 23, Chris Allen in the Cupra, just a further 4.8 behind Simon Major, so in touch. And then we get a string of cars close together, those three, Allen, the 117 Ian Jones, and also in touch there Dylan Richter in the Audi that will be taken over by Scott Parkin, which was actually the winner of the previous round, the first round of the 2025 season for the Club Enduro at Croft. Scott Parkin driving solo in that one, but took the win. There are three classes, and they're based on power to weight ratio. So more powerful engine in a very heavy car might be in the same class as a light car with a less powerful engine, which keeps everything tight within the classes. Class A, 300 brake horsepower per tonne, maximum. Class B, 240 brake horsepower per tonne, and Class C, 180 brake horsepower per tonne. In the classes, it's therefore Class A, which tends to be the quicker cars because they've got the most powerful, the best ratio between the two. So Henderson and Irving in the Mazda leading that one. Class B is being led in 15th place by car number 8, which is the Matthew Tidmarsh Chris Webster Ginetta G40. That's started by Matthew Tidmarsh, and Simon Major has taken the lead. So where has Henderson and Irving gone? Have you got him up there? Because I haven't got him down here.
I'm just looking around to see whether...
He's stopped, I think, down Stowe Club area, maybe out to your site. I'll have a bit of a scan round on my cameras. But our leader... Leader is just... Yes, you'll find out now how much building work's gone on, and you can't see very much.
Very little at all.
Yes, so that lovely vista you used to get is gone. Now let's have a look.
Nothing in sight line, I'm afraid.
Similarly for me, just looking on the various cameras.
Oh, that's a pity, because that was a very attractive car that was in front, and something very different and unique racer.
No, nothing at all, I'm afraid. So I don't know where he's gone, but it's somewhere after the timing point at the bottom of the hangar strip.
The 14 car of Ron Tattersall in the moment, so this is obviously ahead of the normal pit stop window, so the car getting jacked up, and you can see if there's any issue with it. So at the moment there's some work going on in the front.
Yeah, very local team. Dylan Richter in the 89 Audi TT trying to chase down that very meaty looking BMW Jones Gadsby 7. They're very well matched in terms of their best laps, just 7 thousandths of a second apart. The gap between the track is about 1.8 seconds, but good chase.
So we reset now with a 4-second gap first to second, but different cars. In fact, Bjallan has closed right up. So Simon Major, number 18, leads, just coming out of Copse Corner, but down from 4 to 2.2 seconds in second place. The similar car, the Cupra TCR of Chris Bjallan, is in second place, and in third place is the 117 Ian Jones BMW Compact, a further 4.3 seconds back. So why was it a slow lap from Simon Major, relatively speaking, but a very good lap, the best lap that he's done for Chris Bjallan. So that's why they closed up so much on that last lap.
22 car now in the pits as well. It's been wheeled right back into the garages, so some problem there for the number 22 Seat, or is it the Cupra? Same barges. The number 14 car still stationed in the pits. The problem seems to be somewhere around the left front bodywork. I can't see anything damage from the outside. There's some work going on inside the front spoiler in the front corner area, which is really difficult to do for the mechanics because they've got a red hot brake disc to try and maneuver themselves around, and I think it's the front spoiler's taking some damage that we can't see from the outside, but is obviously affecting the car on the inside.
Major and Bjallen 2.2 seconds apart, and I reckon Bjallen now is within a second. 23 car leader is still 18, 23 Bjallen second, 117 and 89. And the Jones BMW Compact is large options. Richter in the Darkside Developments Audi TT are a couple of seconds apart in third and fourth places. Scrap as well. Stunning Shepherd.
After the initial loss of 3 laps by the Claire Norman TCR Cupra number 444, and then being reset in the pit lane, as Robert was telling us, they've run consistently. 31st place, still 3 laps down on the leaders, but still going, so that's good news, and no doubt later on they'll start to move up as they are a top 10, potential top 10 finisher without that problem.
Yeah, such the complexities of a 2-hour endurance race that a manner of things might happen to assist their return to.
Well, we saw yesterday that nobody really got that close to the minimum pit stop time in the race, the shorter race yesterday, and overall finishing positions were affected by the time it took to do the pit stop, where they were running. Some of them were running 30 seconds slower than the minimum time, others getting much closer but still 10 seconds off. So, as you say, Marcus, in this race, when we get to the pit stops, they really need to be on their mettle to get in and out of the pits in the minimum time, assuming they haven't got a problem.
I was impressed yesterday. I was chatting to GTSCC winners, Child and his dad after the race. Chris Senior has had quite a major back operation over the last year or so. He turned 81 last week, and he's still hacking it in a mighty V8 racing Cobra. That's awesome.
Well, we've got a battle for the lead now because Chris Bjallen has caught Simon Major. They're less than a second apart over the line, coming up to you now in amongst some traffic. But Chris Bjallen really has got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he?
Yeah, Lena Major though has managed to put the on the BMW Compact, that's the 55 car, is it? Between them. It's not 55, but it's too far away to see the number, but it's car they're lapping, and that's probably hindered Bjallen's progress for a lap or so. Compact, one of those cars with some quite large numbers on the side there, but into the colour scheme.
Coming up to about 5.5 minutes time, the pit window will open and it will remain open for an hour and minutes. Sorry, an hour and 45. No, it can't be that long.
So 30 to 105.
Yes, that's right, an hour and 15, isn't it? So that's a further 15 minutes to go in the race when the pit window closes, so plenty of time.
Chris Allen has virtually made up the time to Simon Major again. And bear in mind that Simon Major is doing this on his own. So he's going to be very hot bothered in that car by the end of the race. The BMW Compact that was between them was the straight, which is very determined.
The leader's going through Luffield, choosing different lines. Simon Major goes slightly wide into Luffield and then tight out, whereas Chris Allen goes the other way around, and they pass one of the Porsches on the exit. Good run for Bialan out of Luffield, but then he gets caught behind a slower car going into Copse Corner. Not the fault of the slower car at all, nowhere else to go. So once again that slightly favours Simon Major as they come up to Beckett's.
Number 14 car of Lawrence Atkinson has now left the pits with whatever repair necessary being completed, so let's hope he has a trouble-free run from there on.
Leaders through Chapel Curve onto the Hangar Straight for the 12th time. Very much between them, half a second-ish, I would think. A second outside their personal best, and then they're covered 8 laps, so still 3 behind the leader. Rouse family's also dropped back in 22, so that's not a problem, I suspect. Bright green TCR, Luke Rouse. Smoke now coming out of the back of the 117, and I think it's not long for this race. It looks like a worrying smoke trail from the car that sits in 3rd place. Ian Jones at the wheel. Comes over the curbs on the exit of Aintree. Straight.
Coming into Copse Corner now, the two leaders, and they're almost nose to tail. It was 2/10 at the line, or they're 3/10 at the line, but Bialan really is closed up on Major now.
Yeah, it's cracking, isn't it? So down to the braking area for the right, left onto the Hangar Straight. Bialan stalked down Simon Major.
And the 117 BMW Compact coming into pit lane. No sign of smoke at the moment, but trying to avoid getting himself right to the garage when I was standing.
The Henderson Mazda is on its way back to the pits. It's on a flatbed, so whatever's broken renders it untowable.
Robert, that 117 pit stop, that's too early for the pit window, so and another car coming in 62 before the pit window as well, so presumably then the 117 spotted that smoke, decided to come straight in.
Yeah, some puzzled looks around the car at the moment, and he's actually going to drive it forward, I think, into the garage, so not quite sure what the problem is. I'll see if I can find that one out. The 62 BMW also coming in, or is he on his way out? No, he's coming in. But again, team not ready for him. It looks like he's heading potentially into garage. certainly another sort of quizzical discussion going on down at the 62 car, but 117 bonnet up and people starting to look, so I'll give you an update once I can find out what's happened.
Oh, it's a shame for that team. Ian Jones started that car 117, that was in 4th place. But, seemingly engine related problems. Was in 3rd actually.
He was third, which was promoted right. Dylan Brichter in 89, going past me now. That Yokohama, Advan Yokohama colour scheme on the Darkside development car, black with a red tail.
So the 117 car, the power steering hose has failed. Not something they can easily fix, so I think they're going to call it a day at that, but power steering failure for the 117.
Thanks, Robert. Meantime, the leaders go through, still the same, still Simon Major leading by a small margin, actually slightly increased to 0.6 of a second over Crispy Allen. 18 and 23 first and second. 3rd place not too far behind, a further 13.8 seconds behind is Dylan Brichter in the number 89, the Audi TT, diesel engine Audi, that one, turbo diesel. And in 4th place now, and everybody moving up one, of course, with the retirement of the 117 BMW. 4th place is number 111, which is the Josh Lawton David Blackie BMW, and pit window is open. Our first pit caller, I would suspect, without a problem, doing its mandatory stop, is the 14, I think that was.
Yeah, that's the car that was in with repairs required earlier. That's gone straight into the garage, so I think that may be an unplanned stop.
Okay, so we haven't had anybody do a mandatory stop yet. When they do them, they have to stop for 3 minutes, whether they're refueling or not. They must do 1 3-minute pit stop, stationary, plus the 20.1 seconds to get in and out of the pits at the regulation maximum 60 kilometers an hour. So the total pit stop time that we're looking for as a minimum is 200.1 of a second, 200.1 seconds. Or to say it another way, 3 minutes 20.1. And we do have a screen that gives us the pit stop time, so I'll be able to spot if anybody does a short stop.
Yeah, I can see the number 19 crew is getting ready for a stop. That's the crew that look after Wayne Lawson and James Pickford. So they're getting all the equipment ready, fuel churn ready, the necessary fireproof clothing on for the people handling the fuel. Regulations are quite specific about fire extinguishers being available and fireproof clothed fuel operators and things. So they're all set up and ready to go. It's as if they're expecting the car within the next minute or two.
So that must mean they think they can run for the remainder of the race on the fuel that they're going to put in, because unless it's got a very small tank and they need to fill up twice, they wouldn't want to come back in again for fuel. Quite a long run to the finish, 1 hour and 26 minutes to go. GT cars will run for 1 hour or thereabouts on a tank. So in a 2-hour race they'd normally make 1 refuel stop. And in comes number 19. So as predicted by Robert, Wayne Lawson, James Pickford driven car, started by Wayne Lawson. The Audi RS3 TCR has come in for its mandatory stop. It will pull in at 45 degrees and driver must be out of the car before they start refueling.
Yeah, and the pull into the 45 degrees was absolutely bang on the mark to the millimetre. They've actually got tape down in the pit lane for where the front wheels to land, and he's absolutely on it. So fantastic job by the first driver in the car, which is Wayne Lawson. They're getting him out the car now, and then James Pickford will be ready to jump in. Well, actually, I think, as I say, they'll do the fueling first, then Pickford will be in the car. So driver 1 is now out, and the refueling is underway.
Yeah, Pickford, the 2004 Cupra Cup champion.
Smoke still pouring off the brakes of that number 19 car. It came in at obviously from full racing pace, and the heat. It's the thing I mentioned yesterday. The one thing you can't translate onto TV coverage or photography or anything. It's just the sheer heat that comes off a racing car when it's just come in from full speed at Lappery out on the track. So the fueling process continues, and then we'll get the other driver in. So hopefully not too rushed, though. 3 minutes is an incredibly long time when you're standing watching it. But I expect we will get a flurry of additional cars coming in now that the window's open, and it'll be a balance of how much fuel you want to carry for how long in the car coming into the equation, alongside relative performances of driver and co-driver and so on. So a lot of things to calculate in terms of deciding when exactly you want to time this stop.
No work allowed to be done on the car whilst they're refuelling, but once they stop refuelling, then they may start doing things like checking tyre pressures, even changing wheels if they need to, but nothing can go on whilst they're refuelling for safety reasons. But nobody else sees the pit lane as attractive at the moment.
Well, it looks like there are tyres ready and poised to be put on the car. In fact, yes, here goes the team now. It's second driver getting ready to go in, and at the same time the car's getting jacked up, and at least the front wheels are getting changed. I think it's just the two wheels they're going to do. So I'm not sure if this is a situation where they're going to change two wheels. Limited to the mechanics on the car. Two fresh sets of tyres. Label set 8 going on the front of the number 19 Audi.
At some point that the AK team has got that Mazda MX-5 just from the lead car up down to one site. That car was probably returned to the pits. Might have an explanation for that.
Right, so we'll do some investigation and see if it's coming back in. But that's the 19 car on his way again, so just a front tyre change for that one, and full refuelling and driver change, and off he goes back into the race.
Number 19 car back out on track. It'll be in the mid-teens after its pit stop. Another car coming in. This looks to me, by the way it came into the pit lane, to be a mandatory stop, and it's the third placed car, the diesel Audi TT of Dylan Brichter.
Yes,
and
the team, yep.
Coming in now. Same
Yes.
area as the other one, so that's good. You don't have to walk too far, Robert.
I carefully chose where I was going to stand for this race, so yeah, he's banging on the marks as well, and the team go to work. So car's jacked up, and they're just about to pull the driver out, which of course they have to do before the fueling begins. So driver is out, and fueling begins. yep, a very well practiced stop.
Well, interestingly, the first car to make its mandatory stop, the Lawson and Pickford number 19, has come out on track between first and second place, just sandwiched between Major and Bjallen, which is the gap between first and second is stretched now to 2.2 seconds. The pit stop time for number 19 was 3 minutes 46.5, so by my reckoning that was around 20 seconds outside of the minimum.
Yeah, the 89 car then on its way, they had to wait for about 10-15 seconds. They'd done all the work and they just had to wait and wait, counting down on the stopwatch before they could push it back. But he's on his way after a very slick pit stop.
Well, that confuses me because their pit stop time total was 3:59.8, and my understanding is the minimum is 3 minutes 20.
Well, I think they were timing the stationary time, so obviously they weren't taking account the time driving up and down pit.
Yeah,
so
that's 20.1.
So obviously they've lost time there, but they'd finished their work and couldn't push back until they'd waited about 10-15 seconds.
Oh, strange. Yeah, okay. I may be misunderstanding the rule, but my understanding is it's 3 minutes stationary plus the 20.1 taken to drive through the pit lane at the regulation limit, which means 3:20.1 is the minimum. And those two were 3:46 and 3:59, which is way outside. We're used to seeing some teams get it within a second of the minimum.
Yeah, well, I think the stationary time looked very efficient, but yeah, I can't say what went on while the car was in motion. But we've got the 155 Ginetta now as well. Drivers just popped out of that one, so we through them has started there. At the moment, it's a quieter pit lane than I expected at this point. I expected there to be a few cars would come in early to get the stop done and out of the way, and then hopefully gain track position as others came in ahead of them. So.
Yeah, particularly as they're not allowed to come in if there's a safety car, so it's not a case of they're waiting for a potential safety car and then dive in and do their pit stop. You can't do that, so it must just be the amount of fuel that they've put in the cars at the start and then how much they want to put in to get to the finish. And for drivers like Simon Major, he can stop whenever he wants because he's a solo driver. Simon Major actually is pulling away from Chris Bjallen now. It's 2.1 between them.
That's right, still with a orange and black Audi TCR of Pickford now between.
Yeah, so he's on the pace, isn't he?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd expect him to be as well.
That's interesting. He could come back into the reckoning later on.
So a little update from the 444 team. Claire Norman doing the fastest lap she's done all weekend at the moment, and what they've discovered happened was the engine over-revved on the green flag lap. So a little bit of driver error. Claire has said that there might have been the cause. Caused the car to go into a sort of little boat type mode, and that's what then forced them to have to reset it several times. But now it seems to be running perfectly well after all.
Well, Chris Bjallen having all sorts of problems getting past the number 19 Pickford driven car, the James Pickford Audi RS3, and of course unless he's told to slow down and let the driver through, which is not the case in club racing. It's not like Formula 1 where just because you're ahead on the road you need to get past. He's got to make his way through, but it is causing him to be slightly delayed, although I see last time around Simon Major lost a little bit of time to Chris Bjallen, Chris Bjallen, down to 1.6 first to second. So the leaders having a good battle with James Pickford, although he of course is a lap, 2 laps down on them because he's done his 3-minute mandatory stop.
155 Geneta is back out the pitch on his way. BMW arrived way further up the pit lane from where I am at the moment. I don't know if you can see the number from but that looks like the plan stop. So.
It looks like 87 BMW, if it's a BMW, yes it is. That's the Lewis Woodward Toby Partridge. 87 in for its mandatory stop from 13th.
Update from Beckett's area, and Bialan has passed Pickford, so it's a clear sight of the resting of Simon Major again.
Ah, okay. Took him a while, didn't it, the two of them to get to.
Frustratingly.
But equally, James Pickford was very keen to stay ahead because he got to unlap himself then. So could have a beneficial effect later on. One hour and 12 and 3/4 minutes remaining. Pit window open for another hour or so, just under an hour. So no great rush to the pits. We've had one or two mandatory stops done, particularly the 89 TT, Audi TT, and also the 19 BMW. Both front-running cars have done their mandatory stops. Also still in the stop in another car from the top 15 or so, number 87 in the pits at the moment. Meantime, the leaders remain in the same order. Major, Bialan, 2 seconds between them. 45 seconds ahead now of the third place car, number 111, which is Josh Lawton and David Blackie, and starting that one was David Blackie. Refuel completed on that 87 BMW that's in the pit lane.
Bialan over the curves here and approach to the Wellington Straight.
Another lap. We're getting towards another 10 minutes or so. We'll be halfway, so I wonder whether that's the time when a few cars will decide to come in. The pit lane here is very large, but if everybody came in together it would be very busy. To avoid that, but we'll see. Still Simon Major leads. He stretched the lead out and they've been running in clear air now for a couple of laps, so Simon Major stretched the lead to 3.1 now.
I'm watching the progress of the number 89 car, which is the car that Richter has handed over to parking, running in 14th place, and it's the best of the cars that have pitted at this point.
And the winner of the first round at Croft. So we know that Scott Parkin's got pace. Claire Norman still has to do her mandatory pit stop, showing us one pit stop done, but of course that was the one at the very beginning when they had that reset issue. So
Spiller here, one of the Genettas. Back on route though, it's in the loop, and it's 155, 55 spin.
183 going slowly. That's the Brooks Audi TT. No, it's not. It's the Cook Audi TT. Sorry. 183. Stephen and Edward Cook. Orange Audi TT. Should be approaching you now, Marcus. That was going very slowly past me, but didn't get into the pit entry, so we'll have to do another complete lap.
Yeah, Orange TT is through the complex. It's not moving particularly quickly, I have to say, but reasonable pace.
Well, its last lap was 2 minutes 53.
So that's a spin, possibly.
Possibly, yes, and then a slow lap. So we'll keep an eye. That's a probable pit caller into the pits at great speed. Comes one of the Honda Civics, and that is car number 83. 83 into the pit lane, which is the Puttergill Nylon Type R Honda Civic, started by Puttergill, William Puttergill. Sitting 10th place.
So the Honda 83 Honda is currently just got the driver out and the team connected the fuel gear now, and in goes the fuel churn, and so they're into their refueling phase. There's also another team right next to them waiting their car coming in, and they've got all the tools laid out ready. They've got the again the tape markings on the ground for where the car is due to land.
Also further up the pit lane, in comes the front-running 111 BMW. David Blackie brings that in. The Rubystone red car that we were talking about yesterday, Porsche colour. And that's in, and driver out, David Blackie out, Josh Lawton to go in. Also into the pit lane has come number 88. Blackie and Lawton, by the way, were in 4th place, 88 in 6th place. The solo driven Seat Cupra TCR of Joe Williams, that's into the pit lane as well.
Yeah, and of course although he's not changing driver because of the refueling rules, he has to get out of the car when the refueling anyway. So he's now out of the car, door shut, and the fuel churn attached, and refueling commences. Meanwhile, just behind them, the 83 car, the second driver's now getting in. They're going to do a front tyre change as well on that Honda. So frantic what going on in the 83 car.
Meantime, the 111 BMW is being refueled at the moment. One of the drivers, all suited up, helmet on, is acting as the fire person, which makes sense because they've already got all their fireproofs on. That refueling on 111 is now completed. Second driver to get in.
That's exactly the stage we're at with the Williams car as well. So they've completed the refueling, and they'll put the driver back in. Joe Williams just actually staying out of the car at the moment while they do the tyre change on the front axle for him, and they want to get the seatbelts rearranged for him by one of the mechanics, and then he'll come back in. Plenty of time though, with a 30-minute pit stop.
Pit stop for 83 will be completed before the 111 because it came in slightly before. In comes 44 and 66 as well into the pit lane.
66 stopping just in front of me, missed the pit slot by about half a car width, but that was the stop anyway. And the 44 car coming in right beside them as well.
And that's in 3rd place. That's the solo driven Alok Iyengar in the Seat Cupra. And that's the first of our top 3 to come in because Major and Bialan still going. 2.7 seconds last time over the line between them.
So that's the Honda on its way, the 83 Honda, so coming back out the racetrack. New front tyres, refueled, fresh driver, and I suspect on its way to the finish. So on 66 kit, it's the drivers themselves that are doing the refueling. So obviously both with the full fireproof setup on, one with the extinguisher on the fuel chug, and that saves up to equip all the mechanics in the same gear. The 111 car on his way out the pits, just clearing the green lights and putting the limiter switched off and up to full speed as he heads out towards Cops and blending into the racetrack.
Both leaders have gone round again, so we're now coming up to halfway. 1 hour and 3 minutes remaining. So expecting that one of the leaders or both to come in shortly. The pit stop time for 111 was 3 minutes 38. So 20 seconds or so over the minimum. But
that's Joe Williams and the 88 car just gone out as well.
And that was a 3 minutes 39, so good times from these drivers. 3 minutes 28 for car number 87. Here's the Audi coming in, the orange Audi, which 183, which I reckon had a problem last time around. That was running in the top 15. A 3 minute and 1 lap, so it's done 2 very slow laps.
Yeah, so he's just made it in. In fact, he's gone straight into the garage. So widen the way between all these refuelers and tyre changers and find out what's happening. One object anyway is still in the garage, but I'll get back to you in a moment and see if we can give you an update.
The piece of elastic between Simon Major and Crispy Allen has stretched once again to 3.7 seconds last time over the line. Just coming up towards Marcus at the loop and Aintree.
Yeah, looking for them, here they are, they're separated by 1 car at the moment. The gap between them is about 2 seconds. It's the 111 BMW which runs in last place, Blackie and Lawson, which currently splits them. And is 31 last time, it was a lot better. Blackie and Lawson and for Williams in the 88 car, which is next up.
77 car now as well, as the 44 car's pushed back and ready to rejoin.
Leader goes on for another lap, as does the second placed car, which is just managing to get past the 111 BMW, which is back out after its mandatory stop on its out lap, so is now in the hands of Josh Lawton.
Number 10 BMW comes to halt just in front of me as well. So driver out already, and that was very quick actually, and refueling commences.
Yeah, Allen's now past the one and Blackie, but hanging on as they go on to the hang straight.
Sixth place car comes into the pit lane, number 8, which was started by, I think it was Matthew Tidmarsh, wasn't it? Yeah, Matthew Tidmarsh started that. 8, the Ginetta G40.
The 183 car, the Audi, is suffering from a misfire, so they're investigating it at the moment. They don't know the exact cause, but the reason they went around another lap as well is because they were in the process of refueling another car in that same pit garage, so they couldn't bring them in, so they had to do the extra lap.
Fortunate. The leaders making their way through farm up towards village, and by the time they get here it's exactly 1 hour left, so we're halfway through now. So if they are going to make their stop at the half distance mark, then we should see them come in, or at least one of them come in this time around.
Yep, later will be Allen past me. Gap between them probably 250 metres-ish. I reckon it's equidistant back to the 111 car, which is a lap down, and two laps down.
Yes.
And running some distance behind.
So a 63 car has just completed the refueling process, and they're getting the second driver in and just checking tyre pressures and adjusting as necessary. So
In comes 23, Robert, second place car.
Right, so this is an important stop coming up. The 444 car in as well. Claire Norman bringing the 444 car in this time for a planned stop, and the team is ready for her. Blanco will take over from her in the 444 car as the 23 car comes in to almost the same place in the garage area.
Simon Mason to take over the 23 car, and this is where we find out who is the quicker of the two drivers in the team, because if it's the quicker driver getting in, then we can see some significant place changes. Not the case with Simon Major, who's driving solo, as long as he gets a decent drink when he comes into the pit lane. Get on his way again.
The 23 car is in the refueling phase at the moment. The 444 car just about to start the fueling. Also taking out new front tyres as the second driver on the road. And the 444 car also have on its jacks. So I'm expecting front tyres to go on for the 444 as well. And when the 24 cars come in beside them as well, it's a driver and co-driver refueling operation around the 24 car.
Bright sunshine here out on the side of the circuit now. The sun is intensifying in the last couple of minutes as the leaders work their 27th lap.
And goes over the line again, so chooses not to stop this time around. Running order will be shaken up for a few laps yet, but interesting to note that the car out on track, which has done its mandatory stop, its furthest up, is still the Audi that you mentioned earlier. Scott Parkin taken over. Daryl Brichter, number 89, is in 6th place overall, but has done its mandatory stop.
Well, 444 car and the 23 car are both in that phase in the pit stop where they've done all the work and they're just waiting and watching the stopwatch before they can push back. That's 444 pushing back. And on his way to Alan Blanco in the 444 car then, with a lot of time to make up after the problems at the end of the race, but Claire Norman's made up a fair chunk of time, quicker than ever this weekend. Alan telling me he should make her angry more often. So we'll see what Alan can do now he's in the car.
4th place car just comes into the pit lane. That's number 34, the Ben Brooks, Lee Brooks Lotus Elise. Started by Ben Brooks.
23 car now exiting the pit lane on the racetrack, so next lap or so we'll see how all that shakes down and what the battle for the lead looks like.
Major on the Wellington straight.
Good pit stop time from the Blanco Norman car, 444, 329.423, which by my reckoning is around 9 seconds above the absolute minimum they could do, and that's amongst the best. 328 from one of the earlier stops is the best we've had. And Simon Major heads off on another lap.
The one 183. Audi has just come out the pit garages and heading back out onto the track. I'm not sure if they did the driver change at the time that they were dealing with that problem, but the car back out on track anyway, so we'll see if the lap times are improved if we've identified an engine issue.
And Marcus, you've got an on-track battle coming towards you. 8th place, both done their pit stops. That's the 111 Lawton and 19 Pickford cars, close together.
The maroon BMW and the Audi TCR car, which they're both very distinctive. Scottish team Porsche is going better now than it was. It's good.
Well, at the start of the race, I saw Lance Gold, and he was walking about in his shorts and t-shirt. He is actually suited now. He's just walked past me. He's got the suit on. He's ready to go. So we'll see what difference it makes.
Still James Pickford ahead in the started by Wayne Lawson at 19. Got ahead on this lap and he's being stalked all the way by the 111. There's a blue light flashing underneath the bridge. So the car approaching, but that I think was for the car that was just up ahead of them, 50 metres or so.
This is the battle for 7th place, and all have done their pit stops. There are 3 cars involved. 44 Alok Iyengar goes through now, and then just behind the Audi TCR of 19, James Pickford, and just behind that the pink BMW 111, now driven by Josh Lawton.
The orange Audi TT is in trouble again, and that's now creeping, but not going terribly quickly down the Wellington Straight. He's engaging it back to the pits. Well, it has triggered a white flashing light at the warning station underneath the bridge, justifiably so.
Car that pulled in, I think it was the end of the first lap, the Claire Norman Holland Blenko car is now into the top 20. So as we said earlier, good strategy from them in terms of the pit stop timing and back out again. And they'll no doubt make up a few more places as cars ahead of them do their pit stops.
Yes, that's right. They're lapping consistently and quickly now.
Not many cars left to do their mandatory stops. Most have done them, and on the TSL timing screen showing me the pit stop times, no times are in red, which indicates a short stop. So everybody kept to the rules.
Yeah, the orange Audi TT unfortunately back in again, so bought it already, so that's probably done for the day. 171 BMW also, and driver change having been done. I like the second driver actually, which is Jody Hals, has got a crash helmet with the same sort of Jody lettering on it as the famous Jody Scheckter had, but he doesn't have the orange stripe like it.
The 1979 world champion.
The 7th place battle continues, just gone past me, going through Cops now, and it's still Iyengar from Pickford from Lawton, 44, 19 and 111. all are through their pit stops, so this is 4th position, 6th, 7th and 8th place at the moment. Simon Major continues, gone on to lap 30 now. The car that was battling with him for the duration of the race up to the pit stop is now driven by Simon Mason, the Cupra TCR number 23. Yeah, so they're the leading pit stopper now. And in fact, Simon Mason's just done the best lap for the car, 2:19.169, which is quicker than Simon Major's best time. Yeah, so once Simon's been in, we know that those cars were absolutely locked together before the pit stop, so in theory he should come out around about the point where Mason's going by, although of course Mason's pit stop wasn't absolutely down to the minimum.
78 Porsche coming down pit lane at the moment. That's John Brown about to Max Gold. Car will be pristine now after this little trip to Granville today. They spent a lot of time cleaning it up, but no damage was done there, so the driver about to exit and then they'll do the fuel.
Which point it becomes a free Max Gold, doesn't it?
Oh, very good.
Simon Major continues, another lap. Number 18 leads, 3:41 I think that was into the pit lane.
Yes, from 3rd place.
Yes, it was. Griffin. David Griffin is a long-time BMW racer.
Aussie. Various BMWs in recent years. Based over here.
Yeah, 341 car comes to halt. This is another one you talked about, the great colour schemes you have in the inner wraps on cars. This is one of them. It looks fantastic. So, driver climbing out, and they'll begin the refueling phase as well. Very much the drivers doing the refueling and the operation of things. There's not a big team of mechanics there to help them on
So the only cars owing us a stop now are in 1st and 2nd places, and that's Simon Major, number 18, who leads the race, and number 55, Paul and Simerson and Richard Stanton in the BMW M4, which was started by Paul Simerson. That still owes us a stop, and in it comes as I say that. So 55 into the pit lane, currently in 2nd place.
31 laps down.
Yeah, so the team are ready for him. He's coming in just beside where Lance Gold is getting into the Porsche. And yeah, that's the 55 car come to hold. So,
and Simon Major is down at Brooklyn, so he'll come in.
Continues another lap. Maybe his strategy was to put a lot of fuel in the car at the start and run as long as he could on the tank, and then top up with what he needs to get to the finish. It's not changing driver. It makes no odds when he comes in, as long as it's within the window. He's got another half an hour or so before the window closes.
I need to get a spreadsheet on it, but I reckon that would give you the longest running time with the latest possible load in the car. If you see what I mean, you'd be running 2/3 of the race with sort of one full tank of fuel. Work that one out.
Yeah. We need Paul Truswell. He's the strategist on the pit stops. But, at the end of the day, Simon Major has been the fastest car out there once the Mazda had retired, so one would expect him to be in the lead, but it's whether his pit stop strategy, as you've just said, whether the fueling, I suppose having as little fuel in the car as possible at the end when the tyres are probably at their worst is worthwhile.
Yeah, I think keeping the weight to a minimum for the longest amount of time is the key if you're getting to the nth degree of detail in terms of working out like that. And that was the BMW just leaving. That was the 341 car. And 55 now getting the driver change completed, and Lance Gold has just been strapped into the Porsche, so he should be ready to go as soon as the engine started, which seems to be causing a slight delay.
Yeah, that's quite a slow stop. It's already 4 minutes 53 for Lance Gold, number 79. So he's way over the minimum. Good, well, not brilliant, but an okay stop for 34.
Simon Major back to you for the 33rd time.
Let's see if he peels in this time. He's just coming through Luffield.
Lance Gold's Porsche was pushed back and was ready to go, and by the final engine fire he's had to drive straight into the garage, so there's obviously some problems occurred during the stop. 55 car when he's getting to the stopwatch ready to push back.
Marcus, you may know this, we're just, or maybe Robert knows as well, we're musing here whether the Richard Stanton we've just seen go out on track is the same Richard Stanton that shared with Richard Hay at Le Mans a few years ago in the DeWalt TBR, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that. So it did cross my mind a while back.
A couple of updates for you. The 183 car is a fuel injecting problem, which is not something we can fix in the garage, but we're going to keep trying putting them around, see if they can more clearly identify what they think is a fuel injection issue. On the Lance Gold car, this is the unluckiest story of the day, I think. On the dashboard of the car, it's a new build car, so it's the first time they've run it. On the dashboard of the car, the layout is such that there's a fuel reset button, so once you refuel the car, you can reset. And then right next to that is the fire extinguisher, so guess which button will hit. So unfortunately they can't go on because the fire extinguisher is discharged, and although the car's running perfectly, there's just a couple of fire extinguishers on the ground.
And you have the leader.
Yes, bang on time. Simon Major comes to halt in the 18 car. Fairly leisurely approach to his pit garage. Some cars have been coming in on the pit lane speed limit and just sort of sudden stop in the garage, but this was a very smooth drive in for Simon. He's out the car now. He's underneath it something, which obviously he's not allowed to touch the car because only the mechanics can be on it at the moment.
Simon is an ex-rally driver of some note, winning national tarmac rallies, and his father Dick, who is usually on the team, so he may well be there helping with the car. Dick Major, also an accomplished rally driver, particularly in Escort WRCs in national rallying, and they run Major Motorsport, which prepares a number of cars for other people.
Fueling continues down here, then mechanics are poised and ready, but expect will be front tyres to go on. First fuel churn is in, but most of the cars have been needing 2 churns to go in to get to the distance. So what I'm watching actually, remember we hypothesised that we some clever strategies to minimum fuel to the end. So we'll see when the second churn goes in, we'll see whether they empty the whole churn in, which is what most cars have done with earlier stops, or whether they've worked with what they've been away with and partially fill it.
I suspect the latter. BMW going down the track, vigorously waving his right arm out of the window at his pit crew on the pit wall. Can't actually see the number, but it's the sort of Works BMW coloured car coming up to you, Marcus White.
Yep.
Vigorously waving his hand out of the window, whether there's a problem there, or whether he was just saying hello.
The little compact, was that?
Yes,
yeah.
white with the blue and red stripes.
There's a white with some blue and orange stripes on the part of that's the 66 car. Asian similar.
That could have been it. 18th place.
Yeah, so the refueling in the 18 car, Simon Major's car, they left about 20% as a churn, the second churn in the churn, didn't put it in the car, but I don't think that'll make a massive difference weight-wise, so I think we were maybe hypothesising a step too far there.
Sounds like they're changing some wheels as well.
Yeah, that's right, front tyre change. And cars back on the ground already, getting the wheels taut, the driver's already on board. They've done the work very, very quickly actually. So what they'll need to do now is be very careful with the stopwatch. So they're just waiting down.
He's already over the minimum by my reckoning.
Yeah, that's impressive. Well, he was very slow coming in actually. He wasn't coming in at full speed. But he's certainly gone out at the full permitted speed, so 60 kilometres per hour is the pit lane speed limit. He's just passing the end of speed limit now, and he accelerates out towards the
And 23, which is the car that needed to get on terms with him, has just gone over the timing line. So with speed up required from Simon Major, Marcus, you should have the first and second cars reasonably close together coming towards you now.
Yeah, Simon Major has just turned into Beckett's, and the Chinese car is the car of Gallen and Mason, with Simon Mason's son, Simon Major, Simon Mason. Chris Pittard and Chris Porritt earlier on. It's an iteration.
It's worth remembering that the fastest lap has been set by the driver in car number 23 at the moment, Simon Mason, 2:18.650 last time around. I think that was lap 29, 34 completed. No, so about 4 or 5 laps ago, but significantly quicker, 6.6 quicker than Simon Major's best time. So what did we predict at the beginning? A Silverstone type finish. We do declare. We may well see it. 35 minutes to go.
I can see the split time on them from here. Simon Major coming on to the Wellington Straight now. And chaser Simon Mason. It's about 7.5 seconds. 6.3 seconds in actual fact.
Simon Major's pit stop time was 3 minutes 45, and 3 minutes 54. So he lost 9 seconds in the pits. 7 seconds between them. That could have made all the difference. Here they come over the. Simon Major's just gone over the timing line. There goes 23. The gap between them, according to TSL, 7.8 seconds. third placed car, now we've got all of the pit stops shaken out, is the Scott Parkin TT, Audi TT number 89, some way back. I think it's around 40 seconds behind Simon Mason. Not yet come over the line. Here it is now, comes over the line. The gap is 45 from the leader, 37.3 from second place. Third placed. So it's 18, 23 and 89 are your top three. To the finish now, all have done their pit stops. Next up should be number 19, which is the James Pickford Audi RS3. There it goes now, it's the line. So James Pickford, number 19, in fourth place, and in fifth place is number 44, Alok Iyengar, but he is being absolutely harried by the 111 pink BMW of Josh Lawton, BMW E92 M3. And that's for fifth and sixth places. They were separated by 0.8 of a second and have been for the last 10 laps or so. And then in seventh place is number 55, which is Richard Stanton in the BMW M4. And we've got a car stopped on the international pit straight on the outside. That looks to me, it's one of those lovely blue, black and red BMWs. That could be David Griffin. We'll check for who's dropping down the...
Incidentally, Alistair, yep. Mason has taken time out of major both sectors so far, which suggests obviously that he's obviously much fresher into the car. Feeling the heat,
yeah.
He's a rally man back in the day.
So 2.8 seconds quicker. It's closed the gap to 5 seconds. And I haven't yet been able to identify that BMW. It's been pushed back by the marshals now.
So it's where down?
It was on the exit of Club Corner.
Oh, okay.
No, actually a bit further up than that. It was on the approach to Abbey. Not anywhere that you could see, but I've got the fixed cameras and they're being very helpful and moving them around for me to see if we can pick up the number. But it looked like Griffin's car, but there was another BMW that's similar colour scheme to Griffin's car. 34 books. Nobody yet tumbling down the order, so it's difficult to spot.
Hasn't been through. It's Griffin.
It is Griffin then.
341.
Just come up on the screen, hasn't it? Men at work.
Yep.
So sadly, David Griffin, solo driver, pulled off at the top end of the international pit straight, the Hamilton straight, towards Abbey. With unknown mechanical maladies. Was running in 14th place. I suspect it's been pushed in towards the old left-handed Abbey curve in there, which you...
Is it retrievable from the outside?
I think you have to go through the farm to get to there.
Yes, I think you're right. And that's the direction which the flatbed is headed.
Simon Major's opened out the gap by a second, so he's got the bit between his teeth now. He's just done his best lap of the race. 2:18.7 for Simon Major. Not the fastest lap of the race, but fast enough to open out the gap to 6 seconds. The less than 30 minutes to go now, 29 minutes to go. and the leader is number 18, as it's been for many laps now, Simon Major, by 6.021 seconds at the line last time around from Simon Mason, number 23, in second place. In third place is number 89, Scott Parkins, Audi TT, a further 39 seconds back. And in fourth place last time around was number 19, the James Pickford Audi.
Problem, I think, for 111 is going slowly. The fifth place car of Blackie and Lawson, and it's pulling off on the Wellington stretch. Stopped on the straight about halfway down, 2/3 of the way towards the bridge, and it's coaxed it into life again. And it's set off at reasonable lick, so whether the switch is playing up or something's been knocked off on the dash, I don't know, but I think it's likely you're going to see the 111 car into the pits from 5th place. Yes, in fact, Alan Payenga in 44 is past him. That has gone into the pits.
Yes, it has just come in now, so Robert will be on his toes.
And this looks like a planned stop. The fuel churns are getting made ready, and I think this is all part of the strategy for the team.
Ah.
Okay, Alan Payenga, the ex-F1000 racer.
So the driver, of course, has to get out for refueling, and out the hose, doors shut, and the refuelers go to work.
And despite the fact that he's already done his mandatory 3-minute stop, if he's refueling, this must also be a 3-minute stop.
Yes, so it's giving him time to get the car and refuel himself as well as an energy drink going in there. And it'd be interesting to see how much fuel goes in. So again, we were looking at the number 18 car when it stops, Simon Major's car, they put in 1.8 churns worth. So this is a full churn at least that's going in. And we'll see how far down the second churn will go, because we're into the closing quarter of the race now, so they shouldn't need all that much.
The 111 car that Marcus saw slowing on the Wellington straight did come through at full pace, so could be a reset, Marcus, as you suggested.
Yeah. Looks that way.
But at this stage doesn't seem to have lost any places, because it was far enough ahead of Williams 88 in Seat Cupra.
So the 44 cars just getting the fuel, 2 churns worth of fuel. They've not done any calculation. They're just going to fuel it to the end with some to spare. So the driver ready to get back in, and both sides they're going to do a tyre change. So I think it's just purely a refueling stop and breather for the driver and then off it.
Here comes the again. Yep, all looks good. Speed, as you said.
It's highly likely that Stanton and Lawton, 55 and 111, will make up a place, because Iyengar has another minute or so before he can leave the pits.
Yes, that's right. It's Silverstone, Stanton in 55, then the 111 and Blackie and Lawson. Despite that recent hiccup, they stand to benefit.
And they're together, aren't they? Yeah, just gone through together. So that slight delay for the Lawton BMW has dropped him very fractionally, 0.6 of a second behind Richard Stanton. 5th and 6th places, that is. So a battle going between those two. Still, Iyengar sits in the pit lane because his time not yet up. Another 20 seconds or so to wait.
Those BMWs overlapping as they go out of my sight with Chapel Curve.
So a great battle for 5th and 6th places. They're far enough behind the car ahead and far enough ahead of the car behind that they're not going to be troubled by anybody else, but 55 and 111 locked together. The Iyengar car has left the pit lane now, 3 minutes 36, so well over the minimum time. But that will drop it back considerably, probably to around was 9th or 10th place.
That's about 2 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes. It's by the time you've speeded up and so on, it's pushing 2 laps. Top 3 have gone through. The gap between first and second has been 6 seconds consistently, within a tenth here and there for 3 laps now.
111 on 55 just gone through quite nose to tail. Second BMW a little while to lap 66 compact Hayes and Subiani.
So in fact a change of position then, because the 111 has gone ahead of Richard Stanton, so Josh Law has moved up to 5th place. Here he comes now. 111 through in 5th. 6th place goes to 55 Richard Stanton, and what a 444, which is just behind and has been putting a good pace in since they had that 3-lap loss right at the start. Well, they are now up to 14th place. Very good.
So it's just done its best lap, 2:19.7.
Yes.
Senko car.
Simon Major has pushed the gap out to 7 seconds now, with a 2:19.2 against a 2:20.2 for Simon Mason. Still in 3rd place, Scott Parkin in the diesel Audi TT. Just goes over the line now. The gap was around 40 seconds. It's now 43.2. 2nd to 3rd. And 4th should be the number 19 Audi RS3, James Pickford. There he goes now. 4th place across the line. And the 44 car that made that late refuel stop, Alec Irongar, it dropped him to 12th place. So quite a costly strategy there to maybe the car just doesn't have a fuel tank big enough to do half the race. Just had to do that extra fuel stop. Fifth place goes through, 111. Josh Lawton, 6th place, 55. Gap 5.6 seconds, so Josh Lawton pulling away from Richard Stanton in 6th place. And then 7th place is a lap down, so not challenging Stanton, and that's the 88 Joe Williams, Kilburn TCR in 7th place. 8th place is number 10, Robert Fenwick and Andrew Shepherd in the BMW M2, and that was started by Fenwick, so Shepherd currently driving. That's in 8th place. 9th place is number 83, which is now being driven by Christopher Nyland, the Honda Civic, and completing the top 10 and leading, no, 2nd in Class B, because the Nyland is leading Class B now. Car number 83, 9th place overall, 1st in Class B, 2nd in Class B, and 10th overall is number 8, Matthew Tidmarsh and Chris Webster, and I think Tidmarsh started, so Webster now at the wheel. And in Class C, the leader in 16th place overall is car number 63, which was started by Oliver Harris. So Jack Collins at the wheel of the E36 BMW, 16th place overall, leading Class C. Very late pit call for 155, one of the Ginettas, the Armstrong's family car. 19th place currently.
Leader coming up to lap the 55 Silverstone Stanton, which was 6th at the moment. 5 and 6 seconds drift Blackie Williams.
155 Ginetta then comes to halt. I'm sure this is the second time he's been in for fuel. So maybe there's a different strategy being played here, but certainly they're getting the driver out and getting the fuel going in.
Yeah, it's quite possible with the Ginetta, if it's effectively a sprint race car, then it won't have the fuel capacity to do 2 hours, or do 1 hour, sorry. It has to do 2 fuel stops, and I think that's the reason of Irongar as well, because that could be a car that's got a fuel tank for a 25-30 minute race, which would be the normal length for these cars.
Major's good in traffic. He's just swept past slow elements of Records Complex. Stretches short. 2nd place. Mason.
The gap had just fractionally below 6 seconds last time, so it's bobbling around 6 to 7 seconds. As you say, with good driving like that through traffic, and Simon Major's going to maintain the advantage, just coming into club corner now.
You need to have your wits about you the whole time. It's all about just maintaining a strong average speed and not endangering anybody as you go past, because it's not for the slow drivers to slow cars to try to evaporate, I'll do what they're doing. Let the quicker runners find their way more safely.
Well, the 155 car, well, the one they're just waiting for the stopwatch to count down before they can release the car. They did a refueling, just one churn going in, so I think your thoughts on the size of the fuel tank are probably bang on. But also they did a driver change as well, so fresh driver at the wheel for the last 20 minutes or so of the race.
I reckon the lead deficit has come down to about half was. As they come through the official time line.
Just coming across the line now, Simon Major, so let's see. Here comes the 23 Cupra, and it is 5.5, so no, it's only changed by 0.4 of a second. Simon Mason behind the 55 Richard Stanton BMW. Simon Major had lapped a lap ago.
That's the 155 car back out in the pit lane. Counted down to 3 minutes, so he's back on his way. And we're back down the
As Pickford goes through 4th place. It's tackling some quicker. So rapidly running out of time into the last quarter now, so the pit window is now officially closed.
To Village, we've just had 4th place go through. still on the lead lap, so I think the lapping of the leaders by Major is going to stop at 4th place. So the top 4 will finish on the lead lap.
.444, which is Blinko has just passed the car Fulton. 14th, 40 laps, 3 laps on the early drama.
And they lost 3 laps with that, so without that they would have been there or thereabouts in the top 5.
On the money.
Yeah. Shame. Simon Major once again maintains the lead gap at 5.5 seconds, and the lap times of the 2 cars within a few thousandths of each other. 2:18. In fact, Major's just done his best lap of the race. 2:18.692. Still not quicker than the 2:18.65 for. That was Chris Bielan that did that, I think. But the second place car, 2:18.715, so 21 thousandths of a second between their lap times. But still plenty of lappery to do, and Simon Major down at the bottom end of the circuit with a few cars to get through, including the Alan Blenko 444 just ahead. So still chance of some issues. Only 5.5 seconds between the leaders after getting on for an hour and 50 minutes.
So Blenko past the 111. Matthew Lawton currently on its 44th lap. Blenko 42nd. Leaders through again. Half a length to Willington straight between them.
Yep, down into Brooklands now. Got those 2 cars ahead that he needs to lap, one of which is the 111 Josh Lawton, pink BMW in 5th place. Needs to, and the other one Alan Blenko in the 444. And once again Simon Major picks his moment perfectly, sweeps past the BMW going into Copse Corner. So we'll now come up to you at Beckett's, just behind Alan Blenko in the 444. Simon Mason goes through 5.7 seconds, first to second.
Still super consistent through here, the lead drivers. Blenko ahead of them. Hanger straight. He is looking at 33. 46.
Third place Audi TT, Scott Parkin goes through, and the gap from second place has extended out from what was about 35 seconds a few laps ago to now 50 seconds. But Scott Parkin isn't under any pressure at all from James Pickford in the number 19 Audi TCR. So he's measuring his pace at around 2:20, 2:21 per lap. Goes Pickford, 37.2 between Parkin and Pickford. lap to the 111 BMW. So should have a reasonably clear track ahead. Oh, he's got still behind Alan Blenko, but closing in. He's not doing him any harm though. He's probably getting a good slipstream. Neat driving there from 111 Josh Lawton. He just pulled to the right down the pit wall to let second placed Simon Mason go through without any issues at all. Kept out of his way. Good driving. And the gap first to second back up to 6 seconds again.
Yes, it just sort of sways in and out, doesn't it? With the traffic as much as anything else. Parkins is going past me. Scott still a strong third.
We have 7 3/4 minutes remaining. And fastest lap, he's getting quicker and quicker. Simon Major finally, after 46 laps, takes the fastest lap of the race with a 2:18.530. And he's done a very good sector 1 on this particular lap, fastest of anyone. So fuel load has come down, tyres are obviously in good condition.
Major's been past Blenko for the lap 1, so that's lap 47 for Major. Blenko in 14th place is on lap 44. And the 111 BMW standing a little bit flat coming through this time. It's a little bit short of the drink. New fastest lap of the race on 46. 2:18.530 is very impressive this far into the race, getting many parts.
Just idly looking at times up here and noticed that the fastest lap for Simon Major is just slightly quicker than the Formula Ford fastest lap from the race earlier today. Around less than a second between them. So it's interesting.
Difference in weight,
slightly
powers, but that shows how quick Formula Ford is really.
Quite, yes.
These cars have festoon technology and
But they're both running on treaded tyres. Formula Ford are on treaded, so a fair comparison. Five and a half minutes remaining. Simon Major leads by 6.2 last time around. Didn't beat his previous fastest lap of the race. He had set a very quick sector 1 time, but didn't follow that up with a quick 2 and 3. Nevertheless, the two leaders, their fastest laps within a tenth of each other, which rather proves the point that we've had a very close race the whole from the lights out to now. There's rarely been more than 10 seconds between the two of them. And it's been hovering around, well, it's, where are we now, like 46, 11 laps now. It's been hovering around 7 seconds since Major came out from the pit stop.
1-1-1 this time, absolutely sounds fine. Running in 5th place. But struggling, those 55 and 55 currently running 6 Silverstone and Stanton. This is a repeat of what happened earlier, pulling off to the right hand side just off the Wellington Straight. try to get it going again. Reboot and back onto the track. But at a much reduced pace. It's white flashing warning lights, slow vehicle on track. Parking has gone through.
Stanton was around 25 seconds ahead of Williams, Joe Williams, on the last time over the timing line. So if he can get it going again, he may come under pressure.
White light is still flashing to the driver's side, assuming he's still out of my sight.
Oh, there's a car pulling off at the bottom of Wellington Straight, which looks very BMW shaped.
I'm sure it's quite bluish.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah, that's it. It's pulled off. It's actually managing just about to roll almost into the gate through the barriers. So a very short distance for the marshals to push that car behind. So good thinking there from Richard Stanton. Good work from the marshals as always to get that car out of the way. 2 3/4 minutes to go. Don't want to worry you, but the gap has suddenly dropped to 4.75 seconds first to second.
Just a tang of hot oil in the air. Might be wrecked tyre. Leader goes through onto the straight, followed by Simon. Someone's a big spin in. Where's that gone?
Leaders go through, and was 4.75, it's now 3.9, but we've only got one more lap to go, 1 minute 43 remaining, just over that 150 something as they cross the line. So last lap for Major and Mason, and will Mason be able to continue to put more pressure on Simon Major? Is Simon Major having to ease his pace perhaps?
There's Major, and he's being chased really hard, and the second place car, Mason, is only one back, and it's 3.9 seconds going after 49 laps, 9 seconds, and 50th and final lap.
Another car being pushed behind the barriers, didn't see it before it disappeared on the pit straight down here, so must have pulled off. So we've got yellow flags just gone in now as the marshals have got that behind the barriers. Didn't actually see who that was, but we should have the leaders coming through very shortly. Oh, in fact, they're on way up to you. Sorry, I thought they'd already passed you.
Here they are.
Yeah.
Here they are. We've got 3 cars together, all Seat stroke Cupras, and second place car, which is on the timing system, which is third of the trio that bursts into view, is getting closer and closer and closer. It's about 2 seconds now, and airing down the Wellington Straight for the last time. Major looks like he's got it under control, but he can't afford to back off.
Into the last few corners, Simon Major still leading. There is a car between him and the 23 second place car, but
that's the one that's been there all lap.
That's very close as they come through Luffield towards Woodcote on the last lap. Will Simon Major stutter as he comes through? No, he doesn't. He goes across the line, takes the checkered flag, and second place goes to a very hard charging Simon Mason. 2.1 seconds at the line, and a really good race. 50 laps completed, and no doubt Simon will chat with Robert and we'll find out whether that was just Simon easing his pace. He was down to almost 2:21 on that last lap and a 2:20.5 on the lap before, so he'd eased his pace considerably.
Parkin going past me now, so that's the third place car. So this Audi TT diesel, started by Dylan Richter. It's close to home now. Corner.
And another car crawling over the line with possibly no fuel is number 10, which is in 7th place. Will it lose any places? Question. Yeah, it's down to 8th and crosses the line in 8th, so lost a place. Literally coming out of Woodcote, it slowed and then crawled over the line and lost a place. That's a great shame for the number 10 driven by Andrew Shepherd to the line, and has pulled off on the pit straight.
Pickford is down at Brooklands now in the orange Audi, started by Wayne Lawson, and that car is the last car on the lead lap. So 4th place, Pickford, Blackie and Lawson, 49 laps. Williams in 88, and Martin Bill and
just took 7th place on the line by a fraction of a second, 4.9 in fact, ahead of Shepherd, who was stuttering. So all the top 10 across the line now. So the results as they appear on our screen was a win for solo-driven Simon Major, number 18. A really good drive. He was slightly slower than the Mazda at the start, but the Mazda failed early on, and he led, apart from the pit stop phase, he led right the way through. 50 laps completed. He also took the fastest lap towards the end of the race with a 2:18.530 and beat second place by 2.167 seconds.
After 2 hours of really hard racing, a big feat. That is Silverstone.
It is. We'll definitely call it that. In second place, number 23, Chris Allen and Simon Mason in the Cooper TCR, also on 50 laps. In third place, number 89, Sir Dylan Richter and Scott Parkin in the Audi TT Diesel, also on 50 laps. And also on 50 laps in fourth place, number 19, Wayne Lawson and James Pickford in the Audi RS3. On 49 laps in fifth place, number 111 was the purple-pink BMW, Josh Lawton and David Blackie. In sixth place, number 88 is the Joe Williams solo-driven Seat Cupra. In seventh place, number 83, taking it on the line after the stuttering number 10. 83 was William Puttergill, Christopher Nyland in the Honda Civic. In eighth place, number 10, Robert Fenwick and Andrew Shepherd in the BMW, probably ran out of fuel on the line. And then in ninth place, number 44, after two fuel stops, really stunted his challenge, Alok Iyengar in the Seat Cupra, and completing the top 10 and winning Class, no, not winning Class B, Puttergill and Nyland won Class B in 7th place overall, number 83, second in Class B and 10th overall, number 8, Matthew Tidmarsh and Chris Webster in the Ginetta G40. And just to give you the winner of Class C, it was in 16th place overall, car number 63, Oliver Harrison Collins in the BMW E36.
Right, and with that, I've got the winning driver, Simon Major, with me. Simon, you must be absolutely exhausted.
Absolutely knackered. Yeah, to be honest, that was the longest 2 hours of my life, to be quite honest. Hard work. We thought we sort of had it in control, but the last couple of laps there, felt like something was going wrong with the front left, probably a dry shaft or badly for that tyre. So we were hanging on.
Yeah, because I was starting to do the mental arithmetic. The last 2 or 3 laps, you were kind of dropping a second a lap, and it was looking very, very dicey at the finish.
Yep, I just felt terrible vibrations, something really weird. Didn't want to turn in at all, and I thought we were lucky to finish the race, to be honest.
Well, you got there, you crossed the line in first, that's what counts. The stop halfway through, you were very late coming in terms of the pit stop window. Was that all part of the plan?
Yeah, it was really. We started with a full tank of fuel, so we had limited help today. So we started with a big tank of fuel, so we didn't have to refuel too much. But I have to say big thanks to my team, but also Capture Motorsport for helping out on that pit stop there, so thanks to them.
Yeah, all looked very slick actually, it was quite impressive. So well done, congratulations on the win.
Thanks very much.
So Simon Major there, car 18, and now we'll turn our attention to the winner of Class B, which was
83.
yep, so it's Christopher Nyland is the man that got out of the car. I had to quickly check his name strap on his overalls, but Christopher, you must be very pleased with that, bringing that home in a class win.
Yeah, that was really good. The car was just absolutely phenomenal there. So good job by Motion Motorsport, my teammate. With it perfect. I think we're down to the last second on the stopwatch, and then